with this. They actually buy a new house, have a new healthy baby girl that they name Maggie, and shortly after Maggie was born, we invited my parents for a day visit so that they could see our new house and their new grandchild. After we had visited and Maggie went down for her nap, Toddy took my mother shopping, and Mrs. Gillen and I tried to entertain Father. He seemed agitated after we were left alone, and his faltering efforts to begin sentences made it obvious that something was bothering him. As usual, he had more difficulty finding nouns than verbs, but I gradually became aware that he was trying to discuss the war with me. When I realized how important the conversation seemed to him, I tried desperately to fill in the gaps in his phrases and to anticipate what his questions were, but the effort was so heart-wrenching for the both of us. He seemed to understand that the United States was not winning the war, a situation he found bewildering, and he wanted to know how I was handling our lack of any positive results. I tried to assure him that I was fine, but my words had a hollow ring, even to me. And I realized that this dear, sick old man knew the agony in my heart and what trouble I was having finding meaning in my experience. By the time my mother and wife returned, we were both emotionally drained. And as I exchanged hugs with my father and then watched Mrs. Gillen help him down the front steps and into the car, I was relieved to see him go. It was the only conversation my father and I had had about the war. As I look back on it, I find it excruciatingly sad that while my father was ready to talk about it, he was unable. And while I was able, I was unready. Can't help but think about what Chesty probably wanted to tell his son.
Yeah.
And the amount of wisdom that he had and what he had been through, and he probably could have put things in such good perspective for him. And he couldn't do it.